Tony Slupamo about last weekend, a record number of people watched it on television, there, that type of thing. But 5 of those 10 matches were basically decided on riding time. There's been a lot of talk about should rules be changed more to create more offense so guys aren't just riding, that type of thing. I want to know your thoughts on that.
I would, okay, so I would ask a question on your question. How would you change the rules?
It would go to more like freestyle. So
Freestyle is action-packed, huh?
Well, again,
I'll tell you what, you got a tournament that is like sold out with 20,000 plus, and you're going to tinker with rules and go to freestyle?
Well, again, I mean, are you okay though there's not as much?
I'm not okay with a little bit of scoring ever. Wrestling's a tough sport. We want to promote scoring. We want to promote action. I don't think promoting action's the solution. I think promoting scoring is the solution. I think it starts right here with the philosophy of the program. Tough situations, sometimes they get really sticky as far as points being scored. And that's a job of a coach or an athlete to blow the doors open. To react and go to freestyle is a silly solution. I look at the best wrestlers on the planet. They gather in Las Vegas, and there's 3,000 people watching them. I mean, we have the best wrestlers on the planet, and it's deep. These brackets are deep, and there's 3,000 people watching, and it's freestyle. And I'm not taking anything away from freestyle. Freestyle's done a great job of changing their rules. They kind of got off track there with the 2 out of 3 period wins and when there were 2-minute periods. But you'll get a strong opinion from me that riding time needs to stay. 7-minute matches need to stay. College wrestling is strong, evidenced by the television.
Was that just simply a battle between 1 versus 2 and sort of a pitcher's?
I think that our guys need to do a better job of going out with the idea that it doesn't have to be close, and why make it close? It's like you have a choice. Go perform. Go put on a show, a spectacular display.
When it comes to the riding, the hook ankle thing as a coach, what do you tell your athletes, or how do you coach them?
Well, don't get your ankle caught, but yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, we got to get better there. I mean, that's a position we got to get better in. No doubt we got to get better in that position. Well, you don't get there. You don't get ridden forward to your head and your hand so that foot's dangling with no weight on it. That's probably number one. And if it does get caught, you got to move under there and you got to jerk it free. It's not going to be something that's slow. And you're probably not going to just be able to straight line kick. You got to do things that are, in a circle, that type of thing. This is boring kind of for the public. So I sit here talking, I catch myself. Like, I feel like I'm talking about things that are boring. But your question is a wrestling question. And our guys have to do a better job. I mean, there's no doubt that, I can name 4 names real quick. And they are Cassiope, Warner, Nelson, Branson, Teskey. And that was one particular duel, but it's given us problems all year in other individuals as well. We have to do a better job.
I think more people, they're not all wrestling people like you and me, those of us in this room, so I think they'd be curious to hear tactically, right?
Yeah, tactically, you're going to get an answer from me that, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Preventing is a lot better than clearing. So I would start with prevention. And then when it's coming in, you got to prevent more. And then when it's in or hooked, the ankle's hooked, you got to clear. And it's that simple. It's you're not going to get a critique on whether it's stalling or an illegal ride or why why is the rules committee not addressing this. It's something, and things like this, they come around. And there's trends. I remember one year in freestyle wrestling, they were doing the head lever to the gut wrench, and that seemed to be the rage, and everybody was turning everybody with that, and then it went away. And And I don't know why that popped into my head, but this is the same thing. And if you don't take care of it, you don't deal with it, you don't get better there, it will continue to show up in the negative. But, you know, in defense of, you know, coaching staffs across the country, I think when you're getting beat with something, it's not like it's not being addressed. It's frustrating for fans and parents and wrestlers and coaches, and we address it.
Well, we talk about like wrestling growing, like people pay attention more to little things like that, right? So that's
Yeah, and you know, so make it exciting. Don't let a guy ride you for, you know, I don't know how much, I know Nelson Brands had a minute 12 against him. Cassiope had, I believe, over 2 minutes against him. Warner had, you know, a whole 2-minute ride to erase what he had, so he had a minute plus on him. You know, Teskey, I think, gave up riding time at least, you know, a minute 40 or so, maybe, in my head. That's a lot of, before the end, that's a lot of cumulative time of getting ridden. Huh?
around 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Coach, Cleo Woods, first year in the program, sitting there undefeated, what sort of impact has he had in the room?
He's a quiet guy, a very confident guy. He is a very funny guy. The way that he communicates is it's very direct, and there's a twinkle in his eye, and I think he fit in right away here. I don't really think he cares if he fits in, and that's probably why he fits in.
When you were recruiting him, what were those conversations like?
Well, the first one is, you know, we're here, you know, I'm talking 3-4 years ago, we hear you're going to Stanford. Why are you going to Stanford? Well, it's been a lifelong dream of mine. You know, and then, you know, Stanford dropped the program, and we had Ironman for another year, so we didn't even, he was in the portal. And the conversation was very natural. This is the third time's a charm. You know, Iowa City, Iowa has the best fans on the planet, and they shower guys like you with affection and praise, because we know, you know, how you can get it done on the mat, and our fans reward that and appreciate that.
Was he surprised you in any way?
No, I mean, we've gotten to know him better, but we saw him when he was an underclassman in high school. He would come to our developmental camps, and, you know, we know his club coach, Israel Martinez. There's just a lot of, you know, he was a phenom. And when I say a phenom, I don't think so much in the results like some of these guys. He was more like the ability, the athleticism, the mindset. I guess phenom was probably more coming from where I thought he would be a great fit from the very, very beginning. Just how he walked and talked. And then he would back it up. And even when he didn't back it up, like in the results, he would back it up with his effort. You know, if he got beat, he would bruise and batter you. So there was an automatic fit there.
When you talked about how Hawkeye fans would shower people like him with affection and things, is that because he won, his style?
I think it's because he plays to them. I think he gives them credit. You know, I look at some guys that in the past that were very dominant, and they would get their hand raised and run out of the arena and wouldn't really acknowledge. And you know, there was, you know, some opinions from some fans that, hey, why don't you have the guy at least wave and acknowledge the crowd? And, you know, we don't tell our guys what to do. That's their style. Whatever your style is your style. And, you know, a guy like that, his style is to bask in it. So, plus he's explosive. There's not a lot of grass that grows under his feet out there, and that's fun to watch. You never know what you're going to get if you look down the ice cream cone and start to lick. You know, something could happen that's that quick, you know.
Hey, Tom, I have to ask a few more questions about Spencer Lee. I know last week you talked about how you rate him and Terry came to Iowa, many people thought you re-energized that program in the early nineties, that type of thing. Many people could say the same thing about Spencer Lee. Do you see that impact what he's done similar to what you and Terry did?
I know that getting him was very, very important. We had lost a guy at that weight the year before that we thought we had a really good shot at. And then when that happened, we had to get him. And, he committed early, so, we were in good hands. It was more the way that he committed, probably where I knew, Terry knew, the program knew that we got the ultimate backup here. We got the family will go to war. We got Spencer Lee, he will go to war. He was, he's great. Fans love him. Opposing fans love him. And at Penn State just recently, he was, beloved by their fans and taking pictures and stuff, but he was also sticking up for our program. When, I heard an exchange, and it was similar to this. Hey, your program sucks, but I respect you. And he would be like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And so, he doesn't separate himself. He's part of, Iowa Hawkeye wrestling and his deep, deep, deep roots. And he doesn't put himself above to defend it. And he'll be, I'm not going to say he'd jump on a grenade, but he probably would. I know his dad would. I know his dad would jump on a grenade for this program.
But you'd agree that you envisioned this when he did come here, even though you saw it.
I'm saying that when he committed, the rhetoric and the dialogue that he had with the press and how he did it, I think he had that top 10 thing. It was in depth, well thought out, and it wasn't the easy decision, as he said, but it was the right decision in his mind. And I tell you what, when you have that coming in, it was like he was already addressing like the naysayers. And I tell you what, that's loyalty, and that is ownership, that is partnership at every stage. And it was there with his family as well. And you talk about, fans, getting on board. I remember he was on campus, and, we were standing on a corner, and car pulls up. Holy, rolls his window down. He actually had a manual, and he leans over on the passenger side. Holy mackerel, that's Spencer Lee. And he was, that was like his official visit. And he's just standing on a street corner. Wrestletown USA, Wrestling Town USA, whatever you want to call it. That's not propaganda, that's real.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Thanks.